Okay, let's go. Let's go. Welcome, guys. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the Man Utd stream channel. It's a late night show, but it's full, jam-packed with news about Carrick, about Bruno Fernandes, and lots more. So I hope you're ready. Sat back, relaxed, get yourself a drink. Jim, welcome to the channel. I hope you're doing well. Let me know. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear everything and everything's coming loud and clear to you guys. Because as you can see, I've got a guest on tonight. I've got Helge. You've probably heard of him and you've probably seen him around lots of different Man Utd channels. He's, I'll say, a Norway correspondent. He is someone who is, always a huge Man Utd fan. I've got to say, he's a huge Man Utd fan and has got lots of opinions of what's going on, and they may be different to yours, they may be different to mine, but at least we can hear them, right? But first of all, let's break the news to you. We've got the big news, which we've all been waiting for, and of course, it is to do with Carrick. And yes, you heard it, guys. Carrick is now officially announced as the Man Utd interim head coach for the remainder of the 2025-26 season. Let me know what you think about that. That's I mean, I've been waiting for that official news for some time. We were all kind of new, didn't we? I mean, I did say, I brought the news to you on Saturday night. Saturday night, I said, I've been told by sources, Carrick is the one who's going to get the job. At that point when I was telling you, I didn't believe it. I really didn't. I thought it was going to be Solskjaer because everyone had him down as favorite. Everyone had him down as a favorite. Everyone thought he's going to do the job for free. And whenever INEOS hear the word free, they jump on it. They jump on it like flies on shit, don't they? So look, I thought Solskjaer was going to get the job, but it surprised everyone that in came Carrick and he got the job. I'm going to come to Helge in a minute, discuss Carrick, and we'll also discuss other breaking news today about Bruno Fernandes wishing to leave Man Utd. Now, look, again, this is a story that I discussed immediately after Ruben Amorim got the sack. I said, watch this guy. Watch, this guy is going to jump ship. And as it happens, exactly as Carrick is announced, or just before Carrick is announced, we're getting breaking news that Bruno Fernandes wants out. And it's not a shocker. I don't know why everyone's shocked. Everyone's going into a complete meltdown and saying, oh my God, where's this news come from? How is he going to leave? It was inevitable he was going to leave. It was always on the cards. Before Ruben Amorim even got the sack, it was on the cards. If you go back a couple of months, he gave an interview to the Portuguese media and he said he wants to play somewhere else. He wants to play in La Liga. He wants to play for a different team. Yeah, he wants to go to sunnier climate. Clearly, he doesn't like Man Utd and the weather in Manchester. So we're going to discuss that as well. But I'm going to introduce Helge. I'm going to bring him in and give me, I'm going to first just ask you straight up. The question is, were you, Carrick, I know you're from Norway, so did you have any kind of bias towards Solskjaer? Did you want him in? Did you feel like he was the better man? Or did you actually feel like maybe it's best to go for someone who's not been tarnished, shall we say, with losses like Ollie had in his days?
First of all, thank you for having me on the channel. It's nice to talk with you in the chat, but it's always nicer face to face, so, or cam to cam, whatever.
Yeah.
And big up to the chat as well. I see Jim there. He's such a nice guy, and Niche Fan is probably one of my all-time favorite chat members that I've ever
Is he?
seen.
All right. Okay. Well,
Because
yeah.
but for the question about if I had any bias, I can answer it in Spanish. Sí.
All right.
Yeah. We are such a small country, and you know, I love that guy like he's my uncle. So I would be like a sociopath not to have any bias because it's so hard to remove. what I feel for that guy. When you take the feelings away, I still believe that I would have picked him over Carrick. Um, do I think it's a big difference? No. Am I disappointed in getting Carrick? Yes. Would I be disappointed in getting Solskjaer? Yes. So my point is we shouldn't be going for an interim, but that is the reality. And when we're going for an interim, I don't see why we just have to look at ex-players. Like there are so many
Yeah.
managers out there who would gladly come to United for 6 months. And like I told me and my mates were talking in a group chat yesterday, and I said, like, we missed the boat again because if you really use your frontal lobe cortex that's in the brain, Sir Jim, this in a shitty situation like this where they pull the trigger way too prematurely, we still had the because that was a mistake, just sacking him without a plan. But when they first did that, I think that kind of gave a new, because I wanted kind of Amarin to leave anyways, but not without a plan. And the thing I was talking about with my friends was, imagine if we, for example, called up Xavi. Xavi would have took the job like this, okay? But we said it's only for interim. But if you do really, really, really good and get us Champions League, you will get the job. So you give an incentive. That way, you give an incentive to the interim, and then he has the drive to like whip up the players in training every day for the rest of the season. But now I feel like it's just writing off a season, if you get me.
Yeah.
So I feel like we had an opportunity there to give it to a manager that it could be, or frontal cortex, Jim. We had the opportunity to give it to Xavi, and he would have come there from first day on. Okay, right, guys, I'm not playing around. I want this job. We are getting Champions League and getting like really like this. And you know, the news about Carrick. The difference between Carrick and Solskjaer was that Carrick was cheaper, and Carrick didn't want the job afterwards. He is okay with it just being 6 months, and Solskjaer. So I feel like those two premises are the worst premises for getting an interim. Like they have no future, and they are cheaper. Like that is not the best solution. That is like a 7th division team from Norway would do. So I feel like we maybe, because I see the point of waiting till the summer and after the World Cup or whatever to look at the manager market and do a proper like choice. But it wouldn't hurt to try Xavi and give him the incentive that if you do really good, you get the job, because we can't lose in that way. Either he tries his best and it don't go, but at least he tried, and then we at least get a new manager afterwards anyways, or if he does really good, which is good, and then he continues. So it was a win-win situation we could have easily gotten,
Yeah, I look.
in my opinion.
Well, look, I'm not biased in either way. I mean, I look, the Solskjaer thing for me was, I've been there, seen there, done that, and I like
I
Sol.
get that.
Yeah, and I like Sol. I do like Solskjaer as a player, and
Yeah.
my memories of Solskjaer are attached to the treble, and you know his winning goal in the Champions League, and
And the red
and
card.
I did,
The red card,
yeah,
you
and
remember?
I didn't want it to be tarnished in any way, and I think
I
he
get that
just about,
100%.
yeah, he just about got away with it. As in, he left United. Of course, he had a bad run near the end, and I thought, I hope no one remembers him for this. And thankfully, no one does. Thankfully, everyone is still talking about Solskjaer being that, you know, super sub for Alex Ferguson. And
Yeah.
that's how I want him to be remembered. And I want the younger generation to remember him for
Yeah.
that as well.
I said the same thing to my mom, because she called me when she saw on the news at the late night. She saw that Solskjaer, and she knows how much, so she called me. And I said that because she asked, "Do you want him back?" And I said, "It's hard for me to say no, But and then I made the points you were saying, like, yeah, I don't want his reputation to be tarnished, but at the same time, we don't know if it's going to do good. But a really important thing that I haven't heard, I don't think I've heard anyone talk about, is when we talk about Carrick and Solskjaer, okay?
Mm,
People are talking about like they are just two persons. Like, who do you want? But I think a really important discussion is more like, but how do they play? They are completely different managers.
yeah,
So I don't feel like people are talking about that like we are talking about Carrick or Solskjaer, but football wise, they play very different football, like very different football. And I feel like that's weird from the board as well. That also shows no plan, no vision. That they are not similar in any way, and that's my concern. Is that Carrick plays very centrally, and I'm really concerned about our midfield with Carrick because Solskjaer at least used to bypass the
yeah.
midfielders, and I think that would have benefited us this year because they
Yeah,
are
yeah,
shit.
we've got
So,
non-existent midfield's
uh,
non-existent at the moment, and yeah, you probably think. I think you made a
yeah,
really good point, and I think a lot of people have missed that point. And we got David Ornstein actually coming out today, and he put out a segment about why Solskjaer was looked put aside essentially, or not the chosen one, and they went with Carrick, and he did allude to the fact that look, yeah, Solskjaer wanted the job afterwards. He wanted to be considered as the
yeah,
possible long-term manager for Man United. And well, INEOS didn't want that. INEOS essentially wanted just someone till the end of the season, and they didn't want anything lingering. And of course, Carrick. Yeah,
yeah.
you're right. Carrick must have come in there and said, "Look, I'll give you whatever you want. As in, whatever you want, I will do, and I'll take over the job." To
I will
be
work with I will work with whoever you want.
Yeah, and essentially, I think also, and we guessed this anyway across the chat on last week. We were talking about it, and we were saying actually, whoever comes in is going to be like whoever's going to get the job is the person who's going to say, "I can kiss your ass the best, and I don't want any transfers." That
Mm,
is the requirement. I mean, the
mm,
criteria for. I mean, you could if you got a chance to see Wilcox's or Brada's flip chart of criteria when they're interviewing the two managers, it must have been right. Who can kiss ass best, and who can actually go without any transfers,
yeah,
and that would have given them the tick box. And I think,
and the staff as
yeah,
well.
yeah, yes,
Staff as
yeah,
well. Like, no, I don't need staff. I don't need the lowest wages. I can work with the staff. Need to be promised a future, and I won't criticize anything about the media. Like, it ticks off all the boxes that we as fans don't want, and that's also a thing that spoke against Carrick for me. Is that I don't think a lot of people, and I know that this is maybe niche, a niche fan, but I'm really, since I was 10 years old, 11, 12, I've watched every pre and post match press conference from Ferguson and every manager. I missed about 10, 20 in 20 years. I love, I don't know why, yeah. And Carrick is so boring to
yeah.
listen to speak.
Yeah.
And I know that's not everything,
But
but
did they not want? I think they wanted. That's what they want. They want
yeah, of
someone boring.
course.
They want someone who's not gonna pull something out of the bag last minute or say something that might surprise everybody. They
Yeah,
want someone dull. They want someone boring. They want someone to come in and not surprise them in any way. And I think that's the other reason why they've probably gone with Carrick. Some might say that he's a steady Eddie, and I agree with that as well. To be honest with you, like I said, from the two, I didn't want any. I didn't want any. That's my honest opinion. I
same.
just wanted a decent manager. I said, and I think I think it was Anish who said, "Go and get Maresca," and I said, "Yeah, I agree with that. Just go and get someone like that and give them the interim job and give them till the end of the season and say, look, we don't want long term. We want you to come in and cook. Number one, Maresca's got nothing to lose because he can come in and say, we can say to him, look, you can come in and you can advertise yourself. If you do a good enough job at United, you'll open other doors for you in other clubs. Other clubs will watch you and think, right, he's pretty good. Actually, we'll take him if Man United don't want him. And I think that would have been a better option. However, we all know what INEOS are about. Look, Ruben Amorim didn't get the sack because he wasn't doing well on the pitch or wasn't winning games. Despite what everyone else thought, I mean, we all know he wasn't doing too well getting the wins, but they didn't sack him for that. They sacked him because he went against them and he was essentially out of control as a manager. And there's some plausibility to the fact that he was maneuvering for them to give him the sack. He's, you could see it. You could go further. You could go further back, and you could argue that even the Grimsby game around that time, when that was a really strange press conference for someone who's got the rest of the season in front of them. He gave us a press conference where he's almost essentially saying, I'm off, see you later. Yeah. The players have done their talking on the pitch. They've made it clear what they want, and they don't want me. And it's what was the line? He said, it's easier to get rid of one man than 22. So thank you very much. And that's it. He ended. And I seriously thought, right, he's gone.
I think you're spot on because I'm not like blowing. How do you say it? Blowing ass up my own smoke? No, smoke up my own ass. Toot my own horn. Yeah, but I have a degree in psychology. That doesn't make me an expert, but I know a lot about everything from psychology to personality to facial expressions to analyzing that sort of stuff. And very early after Amorim came in, because I didn't know him, I said to my mates, he's going to be the first manager to walk from United. If I think he will succeed. I said at the time, because I really thought that, but I said to them, I don't think he will be sacked. I think he will be the first manager to leave, because he seems to be the type of person that will not put up with any shit and just accepting and take it from behind. He will leave. He will storm out like a Conte, I said. And that was like in March or something. And some will say he got sacked. I don't agree with him being sacked. I always say he quit.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Because that guy is smart. That guy is smart. Yes. So the reason he didn't quit is obviously because the money. Obviously, he wouldn't just quit without money. So he will just say stuff because he wants to win. He wants to do things his own way, and he wants to have a board that is supportive to him, like Hugo Viana was in Sporting. So he didn't want to continue at United. He saw no future in the club. That's why if he wanted to stay in the club, he could have stayed in the club easily. So that guy just leave.
Yeah.
And I don't. But I just the chat. Who was? Yeah, Nish said, lads were screwed. Beth was talking about Luis Enrique insanity. Southgate is incoming. And I think that 100%.
Yeah, I think there's
not
been 100%, a lot going on.
But the Neville link, because Neville has been the assistant. I know Neville doesn't work in the club, but he does. He's a middleman between. I bet there's so many phone calls between Sir Jim and Neville to people. So Sir Jim calls to Neville to control the media and Sky Sports and stuff. He contacts Neville to get that coach, for example, Steve Holland or whatever, or Sir Jim calls Southgate to reach Steve Holland because he doesn't have the phone number.
Yeah, I think the Steve Holland link is nerve-wracking for many fans because it's almost like I said earlier in earlier stream today. It's almost like paving the way for Southgate. It's almost like testing the waters, isn't it? It's testing the waters. Yeah, because what they're doing is saying, oh, we'll see what the fans' reaction is to Steve Holland. And if no one kicks off and no one really picks on him, then we can slowly start putting out the idea of Southgate would actually do really well here. And if it only takes one or two big pundits out there on mainstream media to start saying Southgate, and then it kind of gets embedded into the fans' head that, oh yeah, Southgate, maybe he will do a good job, and that's how you start just getting a building up a fan base for Southgate. And by the time you know it, boom, they announce it and Southgate comes in. I've said it from day one, and Nish says it here, lads, we're screwed. Beth was talking about getting Luis Enrique insanity. We're not getting Enrique, we're not getting Eddie Howe, we're not getting Tuchel. You might as well call it a day with them guys, because there's one thing that I've said that they've got in common. They've got in common with Ruben Amorim as well. They're all passionate.
Integrity.
Yeah, they're not going to take shit.
Integrity, standards.
They're not going to accept Wilcox, someone who's got nothing to his CV in management or coaching, and what they're going to ask, or they're going to be interrogated by Wilcox when they don't do well. Like, I mean, no manager's going to put up with that. Well, but look, Ruben Amorim, I think that was just the final cherry on the cake for him, with Wilcox questioning him. But I think Ruben Amorim was already positioning himself to get the sack. He was already asking for it. He knew, but that doesn't mean that it was his fault entirely. Yes, I think Ruben Amorim had lots to answer for, but I also think that Ruben Amorim was positioning himself to get the sack because he knew that he wasn't going to get the backing, the transfers. And I think that was the other thing. Come January, when they told him, Wilcox apparently told him, oh, we're not going to sign anybody. And that's when Amorim realized, oh shit, they're not going to back me. They're not going to back me. They're letting me sink. And of course, the tide turned against him. And it was almost a matter of INEOS were hoping that Ruben Amorim's going to walk after he gets so much pressure from the press and from the fans that he's going to give up and say, look, I'm a proud man. I don't want to take this shit and I'll walk. And he did say that, to be honest with you. He did say, look, I will walk, but he didn't walk. And that was obviously because he was going to get a 10 million pay package in compensation. And yes, and he was just playing a game of chicken with INEOS through the media.
And also imagine this scenario. Any other club in the world, like if we're talking about the top world in any league, imagine when Amorim came in November. Was it November?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember now, but it was.
No, but imagine if that January, because we always screaming for a wing back, and we always screaming for and we got Dorgu from a relegation team, a 20-year-old. I like Dorgu, but he's 2-3 years from being a Premier League player. Starter. I like him, but yeah, my point is, let's imagine if we were a normal club, not a City, PSG, but just a normal club. Let's imagine we were Spurs or Aston Villa, Newcastle, or something in that ilk. We got an Amorim in November. Let's say we got Dumfries from Inter, 30 million euros, 25 million pounds, and we got in Ruben Neves or Gallagher. We would have won against Spurs in that final. We would have gone Champions League. We would have gotten 100 million more. That 100 million, we could have bought a new midfielder and 2 more wingbacks. And with those signings, when Amorim was sacked, we were 3 points behind top 4. Imagine if we had 2 new midfielders by then because of the Neves or whatever in the January, and then we qualified for Champions League through Europa League, got 100 million. We got wingbacks and a new midfielder. Then we have a brand new 4 in the midfield, 2 new wingbacks, and Ruben Neves and the new midfielder that we got from the Champions League money.
But INEOS never backed him from day one, really. I mean,
no. So that's my point, is that Amorim didn't fail, because if they would just, he was not asking for us to be Real Madrid or PSG or City. He was just asking for the bare minimum, and they didn't give him. And they say, yeah, he's back with Cunha and stuff, but yeah, my God, our squad need 10, 12 new players, giving him 2-3 new attackers, and just don't caring about the rest of the team is just neglected. That's like when people say, but Amorim has been backed. I always say, okay, so if you see a homeless person or whatever, like a starving person on the street, and you give them a Kit Kat, you have technically fed them, but have you really helped them? And that's what I feel like we have done. Like when people say he have been backed, yeah, but then we have a very different opinion of what's being backed. Because I don't think if I give a Kit Kat to a homeless, starving person, I said I've given him Kit Kat. If I went to got him a whole meal and a warm blanket and a coffee, then I would have said I fed him. So no, I don't
Yeah,
think
I mean,
Amram.
okay, let's put Amrin to bed, because obviously we can't cry over spilt milk,
Yeah,
and he's gone. Carrick
I
coming
agree.
in. What do you think to Carrick? You just mentioned, you said you thought he might do well. I mean, number one, earlier today I said, look, we've got to get behind the manager, whoever it is, because
Yeah,
the bigger picture is we need United to qualify for the Champions League. I mean, no matter what happens, and whether I like Carrick or whether I like as interim manager or not, whether I want Southgate or not, or whether I want whoever, it doesn't make a difference. Right now, for me, the importance is that I want to see more football at this club. I want the club to succeed. And the only way we can do that is by qualifying for the Champions League, because financially, not qualifying for the Champions League keeps hitting us hard and hard and hard. And we're seeing the other teams just leaving us in the dust now. They're just leaving us. I mean, Liverpool spent enormous amounts of money just this summer, and that is because of their winning. They're winning. Same thing with City, same thing with Chelsea, same thing with Arsenal. Whereas we're going to be left too far behind. And there are some financial experts in football who are saying, look, after a while, it's going to be impossible to catch up. It's going to be just the gulf, the difference between United
100%.
and other. It will be. Yeah. So we're hoping for Carrick. I guess we're all hoping for Carrick, but he's got a tough run in, hasn't he? I mean, he's got probably the worst any manager coming in would want to have. Man City, Arsenal, he's got.
Yeah, that's a good point. You know, for everyone that is saying like Amram was going to get sacked or whatever, they just sacked him after literally the worst moment they could have sacked him. So obviously it wasn't the plan. Obviously, if they were going to sack him, they would have sacked him after Everton when we had that good run in. This is the worst literal time if you go through the season. This is the worst time in the season that we could have hired a new manager. And also, like you said, what did you say about? You said about vacation. In September, I did some research about the total expenditure. A word in English?
Yeah. Total expenditure.
Yeah, of football, like in Europe, like every club in the world. And I took the total sum in one, and I took the total sum spent by the top 4 clubs in Premier League, like City, Arsenal, Liverpool, and just this summer. They were, and this is no joke, they were 36% of the whole world. So every other club was like 60 or something, and those 4 were 36% of all the money. So they are running from us, and we are sucking lunch ladies and trying to save money to catch them. It's like we are.
It's absurd, isn't it?
Jumping on a bicycle trying to catch a Ferrari. It's so stupid.
Yeah. No, I agree. And the problem we've got there is as well. You're mentioning INEOS cutting costs, and I was saying it earlier in the earlier stream today, and I was like, oh, do you know what, INEOS? They're trying to cut costs, and they're like, oh, we'll save 20 grand on the lunch bill, and we'll save 40 grand on taking away the charity for the legends, and we'll save another 50k on the ambassadorial role for Sir Alex Ferguson.
Nicky Butt isn't getting any match tickets for free anymore. It's so stupid.
And then guess what? So they save on in total they've saved 150,000, shall we say? And yet they've just given Ruben Amorim 30 million to leave the club. Thank you very much. So where's that bloody saving gone, right? What was the point of doing all that if you're just going to end up?
and we keep a 75-year-old Brazilian guy in the midfield with 350,000
Yeah,
a
yeah,
week. It's
yeah. It doesn't make any sense, does it? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Morgan, I wanted to read this comment out from Morgan. He says, "There's nothing wrong with the coach. There is something wrong with the players. They don't play from their heart, and just a few from their heart, and we all can see it. What is the management doing?" And I think that's a great point, and we've all noticed it, right? There's no passion in the players, and I feel like Carrick is going to have an uphill struggle because, yes, he knows the players. Yes, he might be able to get something out of some of the players, but we know the usual suspects, and you've mentioned one of them. They're not here to fulfill their United dream. I mean, Casemiro right now, we're getting a good season out of him right now because he wants to play in the World Cup. That's why. Let's be honest. This is a different Casemiro. We were all surprised pre-season.
Shaw suddenly fit.
Exactly. So Shaw has suddenly, been fit for the last 5-10 games, whatever it is, right? And he's not picked up an injury. And I feel like these players are just doing this. They're putting in these performances not for United. They're doing it for the World Cup, which is around the corner. And if it wasn't the World Cup, we would have got the Casemiro who ate all the pies again this summer. He would have come in and he would have been the same fat Casemiro. And everyone was like, whoa, Casemiro looks jacked. He looks ready to go.
He's
But
lean.
it was,
He's lean.
yeah,
So lean.
yeah.
So lean.
It was never about. It was never about United.
I
So
think that's
look,
so. I think that's so sus when in the summer when I saw like grown men posting his six-pack on Twitter. I was like, what? What? Why are you posting shirtless photos of Casemiro saying, "Oh, he's lean. We don't need him." I was like, "Is this the Matrix?"
yeah, exactly. Helga Niche says, Niche dropping it. Helga's English is better than Haaland's. I must admit, it actually is. Actually, I did see a clip of Haaland winding up Semenyo, and I was like, he's not as fluent as you. I must admit. Niche says,
Haaland is like, yes, it's a very good game for City, and but actually, a funny thing about Haaland, I have once not gone clubbing with him. When he was at Salzburg, we were at the same club together when he was at Salzburg, and he is exactly the same person off camera, because when I got to the club, he was standing on a table because it was in winter holidays at Christmas. So he was standing at the table like this with his arms out, and I was like, because I was drunk, so I was like, no, this is not Haaland. And it was Haaland standing on a table. Everyone was around just filming him. He lives and he's born 20-minute drive for me. So he's very local from where I am from.
So I take it you were gutted when you heard that Solskjaer told United to go and sign Haaland, and they vetoed him, and they said, no, who's this Haaland? We don't want this Haaland, right? Okay. I mean, that must have been gutting as number one, Norwegian, number two, obviously a huge United fan. Even I obviously am gutted, obviously.
Next topic.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you think, oh my God.
I watched his debut. I watched his debut when he was 16, 17 years old, Trav. Like, I have watched him from the start. And even from that time, it was like, we didn't know what he was going to become, but we already talked about him when he was like 16, 17, because we said, those strikers don't exist anymore. He is like a proper old school striker. We need that in Norway. So yeah, but that says a lot about the club, that they say no to Haaland and then they go and get Igalo and Weghorst.
Yeah. I mean, talk about a downgrade. Talk about the mother of all downgrades. I mean, yeah. I mean, you can't make this up, can you? I mean, look, we've known under the Glazers, we've had dismal recruitment, absolutely awful recruitment through the years, where we've just gone for crap after crap after crap. We've made the wrong decisions after wrong decisions, and we've never got it right. I must admit, this summer I was somewhat surprised, and I was happy with Mbumo. I was thinking, right, okay, this is a signing that's not like any other that
I
we've
agree.
seen before. It's not the usual signing, shall we say, that we would make under the
Yeah.
Glazers or INEOS, or well, INEOS. Well, this was the real big window, so I was impressed with that. I gave them credit for that, and I feel like Kuna. Yes, he's not playing well right now, but he's still a different signing to what we've had
Yeah,
before.
I'm not concerned about him in one slight second, but I
Mm,
get this new generation of TikTokers and everyone wants to be reactionary, but even though some would say I'm young, but I feel like I'm old sometimes when I watch comments online. People have this their attention span and their patience is like, it's like with relationships nowadays. People just go with the first sign of anything going wrong. Like, people don't have patience to anything anymore. And Cunha, I'm not worried 1 second about him. He will come good.
mm.
I watched him in Germany. He was class in Germany. He's played for Simeone in Atletico. He has been a captain in Wolves, played in Premier League. He has been consistent in Premier League, not one season, not 2 seasons, 3 seasons. I'm not worried about him at all, and he's working so hard. When the most important thing for me when a player plays shit, are you working hard still though?
Yeah, well, look, I was just disappointed. I've been disappointed in him in the last couple of games, just because I feel like he kind of needs
Agree.
to have more composure on the
I agree.
ball. He loses the ball. He tries to kind of run
Yeah.
through defenders, which makes no sense sometimes. I believe he is a maverick at heart, and we do need someone like that on the pitch, someone who just is unpredictable. But the problem right now is he's even unpredictable for the United team, right? We don't know what he's going to do.
Yeah.
But if we can harness that, and if he starts coming good, if he starts picking out these players, starts playing these little passes and builds a relationship, of course it's going to take time because he's got Sesko there. He's just got used to Mbumo, and I think Mbumo, we missed him because he made more space for Kuna to then play in, because
Yeah.
the defenders end up going to the right hand side because they've got Ahmad and Mbumbo to deal with. You can see it. I mean, the best game was against Sunderland when they had to take off their winger and bring
Yeah.
on another centre back because they couldn't handle everything that was coming down the right wing. I mean, we were absolutely destroying them, and that was a good Sunderland team. And I remember a Sunderland fan jumping on, and he said to me, he goes, "Look, you guys played really well in this game because Sunderland
we
are cooking." And I was thinking, what's he on
they are
about?
so good.
Sunderland
They are so
have
good.
just, yeah. And I was thinking, this guy's he's smoking something, because what's he talking about? Sunderland being really good and like they're a team that really well gelled together. And then only later on, when I saw them play against the other teams, and I realized, wow, Sunderland are actually a really good team, and we actually did a
Yeah,
good job on them.
they could draw at Bernabeu. Like, they are
Yeah,
seriously good tactical.
yeah,
And with Cunha, if you think about it, I think it's two parts. The one part is that he's a Brazilian, and with that I mean, he is, as a Brazilian, you are very like, you don't look down, you look up. So you
mm,
look at the mood and everything, and I think there is, like, certain players like him, I think are very much, how do you say it, affected by things behind the scenes,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
which
I
we don't
agree.
know
Yeah,
about.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But so I don't have any like sources or credible thing to say, but I just know Brazilians are emotional people, and he really cares. Like, he really cares. He wants to start for Brazil. He wants to be a starter and play 90 minutes for Brazil. He is ambitious player. He wants to be the best 10 we ever had, except for
Well,
Rooney. Like, I know. So
talking about emotional players. Let's lead on to our next story.
yeah,
Let's
but
lead on to our next story. Go on, finish. Go on,
can I
tell 'em.
just say something about that? Yeah, because I was actually going. So the first part is that I think something about behind the scenes, like, obviously the mood can't be that good, because if he was in a good mood, he'll play much better, and that's ours. And
Yeah.
that's, we just have to accept, because people say, oh, but they shouldn't do. No, but then you can't cheer when he does nice things, because you don't deserve to cheer it, because you can't have your cake and eat it, or what you say in England. So
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
how
yeah, yeah.
Brazilians are. So, and the second part for me is, and that's Amarim's fault actually. I think playing Bruno in the midfield, he is also playing to the left of the two. So Casemiro is playing to the right and Bruno to the left. You know, in the pivot.
Yeah,
And when Cunha is playing to the left as well, what is Cunha's number one ability? It's to pick up the ball, like the runners in quarterbacks, when they pick it up and just run. I feel
yeah,
like that's Cunha in football. He comes back, takes it, and then spins at the defense. I think they pick up the ball in the exact same spot. So I think they pick up the ball in the exact same spot. So where Bruno is, that's where Cunha drops deep to get it. So it's kind of been awkward. But I think it
yeah,
will be better when we play 4-2-3-1. When Bruno, if Bruno plays, for example, as a 10, there won't be there will be that space for Cunha to drop because there won't be anyone there. So
yeah,
I
yeah,
think that's what I was talking about with Bruno. That I think a change of formation will help Cunha because I see it all the time when we watch the game steep and there Bruno is. So they do like a 1 or 2 yard pass to each other, and that's
yeah,
just
yeah.
yeah. Okay, so go on with
I
the
think that would work. I think that would work. I think that would work. I think that would
yeah.
work. Now, moving on to the big story of the day or of the evening, shall we say? Obviously, we've got the Carrick news, and we've discussed that, and we've kind of known for some time. So it's not a surprise all of a sudden that Carrick is the new interim manager, officially announced by the Manchester United website this evening. But with that comes news of Bruno Fernandes looking to leave or going to leave. News about he's had enough. And then we've got, obviously, I think there'll be some people in the chat like Jim who'd be over the moon. I think he'll be popping a bottle of champagne right now. I think he's been someone who's adamant that he's not happy with Bruno, wants him out. I must admit, I don't like his role at United under Ruben. I've not liked it. I never liked it. I thought, number one, I didn't like him playing that deep. I just thought we've got someone who's like an assist machine. Why would he play him that deep? Even though he was doing well, still getting his numbers, still doing really well. I just felt like we saw with Sesko, he's just moved up and he's linked with Sesko, and Sesko needs that. We need that for our striker, especially a young striker. But the thing that upset me with Bruno all the time was his passing. His passing was always just blockbuster. And it was never always on point. And I used to really get frustrated watching Bruno thinking, come on, just play the simple passes. Just keep it simple. And that wasn't that wasn't necessarily his fault because he's playing that deep that he needs to go and make them passes like from deep. And they're not always going to reach the strikers. Whereas, if he's playing further up, he can play them small, dinky passes like he did with Sesko against Burnley. And we saw what damage he can do. I think we'd miss him. And the reason I'm really concerned is that I don't feel like INEOS will go out in the market and buy a replacement. And I don't trust them to go and buy a replacement. I don't think they will. I think if they make 100 mil from Bruno, selling Bruno, whether it's January or whether it's in the summer, they're going to get that money and they're going to put it in their back pocket. That's what I fear. And that's why I think, no, I'd rather just have Bruno then. I'd rather
Do you know
just
what I
him.
fear?
Go on.
Do you know what I fear?
Yeah.
Again, no sauces, only carbonara sauce. No, but when you said that, my brain thought of something that I've never thought about. They're not going to replace him, but you are so right. I think they are going to replace him. And I think it's going to be an Englishman who is very underwhelming, who is okay. I think, and like I said, no sources. It was just like a boom, a feeling I got. I feel like we're going to get Gordon or something and play Cunha in the 10. Something English. Like, he isn't that bad, but it is very unexciting. It's not sexy.
Yeah.
It's like when your girlfriend comes in and they like have taken off all the makeup and just wearing a long
Yeah.
t-shirt.
No, but do
Pass.
you know what I think? I think they're gonna go. I think they'll go for someone. I think you're right. I think you are right. They'll go for someone not as special as Bruno, but just someone who's what you'd regard as a utility
Meh.
player, someone who'd come
Yeah.
in and he'll do a decent
Amount
job. But
amount type of
yeah,
signing.
exactly. That's it. And do you know what the
You
crazy thing
know,
about it is?
uh,
They'll probably overpay for him as well.
100% because they want the Englishman so they can overpay so we don't get other signings that we need because that's the smartest thing. And actually, the smartest thing we could do with the Bruno money when I was thinking about it, obviously, when I think about the smartest thing, that means we're not going to do it. But imagine getting Rodgers. Oh my days.
Yeah, yeah.
Imagine
That
having
yeah.
Cunha, Rodgers, and then Bumo. Oh my God.
Do you know what, Elgin?
That's a league winning.
Do you know a couple of seasons ago when Rodgers was still breaking on the scene and there was not a lot of hype around him. Still, right now, obviously he's gone through the roof, right? But back a couple of seasons ago, I was like, this is the type of signing United need to go make. This is the type of player United need to
100%.
buy. And I was wondering, surely someone's going to come in for him. Surely someone's going to buy him. And no, nobody came in. But United have missed the boat on so many players. They're just not with it. It's like they don't want to bring these players. It's like they see these players. Everybody else in the world sees these players available. They're good. They're very good. They're hitting the heights. And then they're like, yeah, we know. Do you know what? Do you know what's crazy is that we got taken in that they were going to actually buy Semenyo this January. I mean, what a bloody joke that seems now, right? We're a bunch of idiots if we thought United were actually serious.
And Belieber.
Yeah,
And Belieber.
yeah, and believe, and look,
And then
actually
suddenly we don't
today,
want to spend money. And then suddenly we don't want to spend money in January. So it's just
yeah,
and
it's all press releases, isn't it?
and also I was thinking about something you said. Yeah, the Bruno topic. Yeah. I get people have different opinions, and I love that. So that's why if people in the chat are like, "Oh, Helge's an idiot," or "I disagree," I don't mind. Just do your worst because I love discussions. I love disagreeing because a lot of times when I disagree, I change opinion not easily. But if the argument is good enough, I'm not stubborn. I've never been stubborn, and I don't think it's a flip flop. I think
Yeah,
that's like uh, when you have presented different. It's like in a court case. If you don't have all the evidence, or if you get new evidence in, it's like no, but I still don't think he murdered her or whatever. Like you can't be just stubborn.
yeah,
If I so yeah, I love discussions. My point is with Bruno, I unapologetically I love him. I
mm,
love him, love him, love him. But every single thing you said was spot on about the position, about the angles and the passes and the distance. So that's spot on. So I agree with as a
yeah,
midfielder, but I think one really important thing that I think people who dislike him is still going to dislike him, but don't act like he put himself in the midfield.
yeah. And I think it's one of those situations where
And tries
where
to he got put there and tries to do his best. So don't slag him off for being shit in the midfield. That's like if we put Masraoui on the left wing and he does shit, is it Masraoui's fault or the coach's fault? Like
yeah,
so I think that's important. I think it's like if you go out of the fan base, United fan base, talk to every Juventus, Inter, AC Milan, PSG, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich. Talk to the fans in Asia, in Europe, in England. Everyone wants Bruno. Everyone
yeah.
wants Bruno. Everyone rates him. It's just United fans who, he's just doing the Hollywood passes.
No,
Yeah, but
I think. Do you know what? With Bruno, once he leaves, we're gonna. It's like that. You don't know what you got till it's gone, and that is probably what is gonna happen with Bruno. I feel anyway, and I
100%.
I
We have
appreciate
lost like
more. Go on.
6 out of 8 and 1 draw and 1 win without Bruno in his 5 years or 4 years.
And the consistency, his consistency as well.
and also people. I think people who were on, if if you, I think actually it would benefit United to invite fans into the training ground or whatever to see what Bruno does behind. He is still talking about to loan players and giving them advice that were like 4 years ago. Like, that guy is doing everything for the club. He pays for tickets for the women's team to go watch finals. Like, that guy is doing everything for the club, and because he shouts arms, he's a moaner. But when Roy Keane does it, it's passion.
Yeah.
It's just because we're not winning. It's just because we're not
Yeah.
winning. Because
Yeah.
I
And
loved Neville. I loved Neville's goals. Roy Keane, Rooney. They all were biggest moments I've ever seen on a football pitch. Biggest moments I've ever seen on a football pitch, surrounding the referee all the time. I
always,
loved it.
always.
I loved us
Yeah.
being. I loved United being assholes. I loved Ferguson always complaining about the referee. I love it because he says so many stupid things because he hates to lose. So he gets like crazy from being that. I love those players. And Bruno
Yeah.
is that player. He hates losing in cards when he's playing with his kids. So
Well, look, with Bruno,
yeah.
I feel like we've never placed him in a top team. We've never given him the
No.
players that he needed around him. He's always been in a team that needs improving. So, of course, we can't see the best of Bruno, even though you could argue there's times where he does things that, yes, I mean, the biggest compliment, even though Alonso's just got the sack last night, he turned around and said that Bruno was like Modric, like he was their Modric. He's that, he's put him in that category, saying he's that good. He's one of the best in the world right now. And yeah, not just him. We've heard Kevin De Bruyne say the same thing, saying he's the best player.
Odegaard, Toni
Yeah,
Kroos,
the name, it goes on and
everyone.
on. Yeah, everybody knows what.
And also, what is one of the best national teams in the world and has won most trophies the last 10 years? It's Portugal. Portugal are shit without Bruno.
Yeah.
Even if they are playing like San Marino without him, they are shit.
Mm.
And that is Portugal. And also, what you said, we have never put good players with Bruno. Well, you're right and you're wrong. One season we did. Do you know where we came that season? Second.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
When we had Cavani, Ronaldo, Pogba, when we put good players around him, wow, shocker, we were second, and he was our best player that season.
Yeah,
Whoa.
I think we're gonna regret selling him if he goes. Look, but the problem right now is that it's not really in United's hands.
I wish go and win, lad. Go and win, because I agree with Niche fan. Niche fan says Bruno ruined his career with us. 100. That's why I'm so. I get so fed up with, because I get that people have different opinions, but when people are saying like he has ruined us, we would be much better without him, and he could have been like he could have been a Ballon d'Or player. Like, he could have, imagine the numbers he's doing. Like, people are saying, Premier League is the hardest in the world, and I agree. But the numbers he's putting up in the Premier League, in the worst United, in the 4 years, in the worst United side we had in the 4-year span, the worst in the history of the club, he has been here. For those 4 years, there is no one with more chances created, assists, goals, no, like, he is crushing numbers in the worst United team ever, in the hardest league ever.
Well, I was speaking
in Napoli, in Inter, in PSG, where he's playing against farmers, La Liga, if he's playing with Real Madrid. We're talking about 20, 25 goals and 20, 25 assists a season.
I was speaking to a Real Madrid fan the other day, and I said to him, do you know what you're missing? You're missing a Bruno Fernandes. And not that I want him to go there, but I just said it would be scary to have someone like Bruno Fernandes in the middle of that Real Madrid side, and he's got the likes of Mbappe, Vinicius running forward, and he can just pass the ball to them.
They are literally, I think he starts a career mode and create player. He would have created Vinicius and Mbappe. That's like his. dream players to just boom, boom.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And the figures that he would get, and that's why he's alluded to it. And Nish makes a brilliant point, which is he has ruined. Let's be honest. Let's be fair for once. Let's not just get blinded by our love for the managers or whatever is going on at the club. We have essentially taken this guy and he's given us the best of his career, the best years of his career playing life at United, and we've not appreciated it. Or
And
not all, not everybody, but there's some who haven't appreciated what he's done for this
a
club.
lot
And
of
without
people.
a doubt,
people.
yeah, and without a doubt, if he goes off to any other club, like Nish has mentioned, if he went off to Barca, for instance, yeah, I mean, imagine what he'd be winning. And look, at the end of the day, yes, unfortunately, as a player, you want to win trophies. You want hungry players. You don't want someone who wants to come into United and not win anything. Why would you want players like that? You want players to come to United who want to win, who are upset at losing, who get embarrassed
Yeah.
at losing. Right? That's the
I,
problem
I,
we've got.
I've always said that because me and Bruno are very similar in types of personality. We are very like when you see him shaking hands with camera guys and everything before every interview, and I'm always like that in when I go job interviews. I shake the hands of washing ladies and everything. I want everyone to feel seen all the time. But when I go on the pitch, I'm schizophrenic. I become a complete. I'm not nice.
Yeah,
I'm a crossover between like Diego Costa and Chiellini or something on the pitch. I'm an
yeah,
asshole
yeah.
because I just sometimes growing up, my mother said when I got off the pitch, she was like, she touched my face and she said, "Are you my son?" Because she couldn't recognize how I was, and that's why I feel like Bruno is the nicest guy ever, but on the pitch, he's an asshole. But my point was, uh, we, the same fans that are saying these players don't care about the club, they don't care about the situation. But when a player then cares, no, he cares too much, and and I think he is every United fan. Like, I
Yeah.
think that's funny. The funny thing is, the same people that are raging at the TV and throwing their arms around, hey, there was a friend of mine. Those same people are criticizing Bruno for doing the same on the pitch. He is angry of the state of the club. He is angry of constantly playing with players that don't deserve to play for the club. He can see it, but he is not the manager. He's not the owner. But he's, oh my
Mm.
God, oh my. Imagine the shit he is putting up with. Like he is just every one of us. He's you, Travis.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
me.
yeah.
He
He
is
is.
just
Do you know what?
angry because
Yeah, yeah. He is. But
two
when
seconds. I
I go
just have
watching,
to. My
yeah, yeah.
cat is 2 seconds, but I'm
Oh,
still listening.
yeah, 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 yeah. When we're actually watching live, when I'm watching Bruno Fernandes live, that's when you get to see what effort he puts in. The amount of effort he puts in live shows you that this guy is something else. He means everything to United right now. And I feel like if we lose him, we're going to lose the heart of this team and we're going to struggle. We're going to struggle to get it back. That's a problem. And I don't feel like everyone appreciates how much work rate he puts in, how much effort he puts in off the ball when he's all over the pitch. If you're ever at Old Trafford and if you've been there, you know what I'm talking about. Just watch Bruno off the ball. Off the ball, this guy's going back, defending, going forward, covering every inch of that pitch. And we haven't got any player like that. That's why I
Yeah,
know we're going to miss him. We're going to miss him, guys. And
yeah.
if yeah,
That's what I feel like. I get that it's not the smartest thing, but we all have played like. How do I say this? As everyone understands. Okay, you know when you have what do you call it in England when you have gym in school? When you play football or
physical education.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, PE, yeah.
So you know when you play PE, when you play, they say, "Oh, today we're playing football." So you're having like the
Yeah.
nerds, the girls, everyone. Okay. Uh, I'm coming to the point. So then you set up. But Travis, he played football, so he's a lot better than the girls. He's a lot better than the what do you say it? Not the skinny ones. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And I bet you everyone in the chat here also, when you were in PE, you were like always putting yourself in the midfield or whatever, but you were playing left back, you were playing right back, you were just running around because you were the team, because you couldn't trust anyone. And I feel like I watch Bruno and I see him going covering for Dorgu, and people are, Bruno shouldn't be doing what is he doing at left back? Because the bloody left back isn't there. So
Yeah.
so like, sorry for caring too much, and no, it isn't always the smart. So we would have benefited if he stayed in his place more, but at the same time, it's just passion. He just lost the club, and you know, I feel the same about him as I feel about De Gea, is that we don't deserve them, and we never deserved
Mm.
them. They should have.
Yeah.
It's a shame that De Gea is like, he wasn't a ball playing keeper. Is his legacy now? Whatever. And
Well,
Bruno
saying
is.
that, there was a tweet earlier we saw about Onana wishing to come back to United if
I
you know,
saw that.
if there's a change of manager. First I had to take a double take at it, thinking someone just made this up. No way is he saying this,
Yeah,
but it
and it
was
was credible
genuine,
also. Yeah,
and I was like, this is laughable. How can this even be possible?
I
But
was.
look,
But
whatever happens,
if there's one thing we know about him though, because I believe that, but I also believe that Onana is, if you've heard him speak, is one of the most deluded human
yeah,
beings on planet Earth I've ever heard. So I believe that he believes it, but I don't believe it's credible in source of anyone else than Onana and his family. So I'm not worried about it, because Onana can want to come back as much as he want to be ball playing keeper, but Lamens is better with his weaker foot than Onana is with his right. So mic drop. I wanted
yeah,
to.
yeah.
Can you take up the comment from Morgan about
What
Rashford
is
and
it?
Barcelona?
Rashford. Yeah, player's example. Rashford, look
Yeah,
how, yeah. Is this the one? Yeah.
players example. Yeah, Rashford, look at how he is performing at Barcelona. Why not for United? That's what I'm failing to understand, even Garnacho. Well, there's a multiple reasons for it, but I can maybe help explain some of it, or what I think. I think one, La Liga, Serie A, Bundesliga, and Liga is not Premier League. So that's point one. Point two, they play a formation that really suits him. Point three, he comes in a team that loves each other, the talented players in the whole world of football. So instead of Ugarte, it's Pedri. Instead of Garnacho, it's Yamal. So I think the answer is there, and the same for McTominay. Whenever you say, "Oh, McTominay," he, like Serie A, I love Serie A. I watch it every weekend, but it isn't the same. And
Mm.
he comes into a team that won the league, that is love each other, with a coach that's settled, with a formation that's settled, in a much more worse league. So when people say they do good other places, context is really key. If Rashford went to, let's say, Eintracht Frankfurt, who was in 10th and was smashing it in the Bundesliga, then it will be a conversation. If McTominay went to Marseille under the Cherby and they won the league ahead of PSG because of McTominay, whole different conversation. But them coming into a much worse league in a team with world class play, like McTominay is playing with some of the best players in the world, like in the whole wild world, in all footballers that exist on planet Earth, he plays with, and the same for Rashford. So I think it hasn't to do with Rashford or McTominay, because they are good players, but it's not like we failed them. It's just they play in much better teams in worse leagues, and that's it.
What I would add is, I just feel like the players that we've seen come to United over the recent years and played, they end up failing because, yeah, number one, they're within a squad of players that simply are not good enough. And what happens is either you lift those players up to your standard or you come down to their standard. And I feel like most of the players, they end up just coming down to their standard because they realize, well, you know what, it's easier just falling down and reaching their level than working and making
Yep.
sure that they lift themselves up and become better players. And someone like Rashford, I'm not saying he was, an angel at United and he was professional. He wasn't. And I think what's happened is he's gone to a club that takes standards seriously from top to bottom. And what they do is they don't accept any bullshit, no nights out before the games and things like that. And he's surrounded by pure professionals all the way around him, yeah? And he knows, right, okay, he can't get away with it anymore. If he does anything wrong, he'll get dropped. And this is his last chance saloon, really.
Yeah, that's what you said there is everything is spot on, but the last thing you said is the most important thing. This was his absolute last chance because in for those of you in the chat don't know, I work in the music industry, and people have no idea about how important PR is.
Yeah.
That is such a, like, Neville don't talk about it, Sky Sports media, because they are a part of it. So no one talks about it. So fans, I see this all the time in the chat, and when I hear YouTube, people don't know how much PR is a part of footballers. It's so hidden. For example, with Rashford, he has the most expensive, the best PR team in the world that you could hire for money. Like that is the Messi and Ronaldo of PR. He has the most. It's the same that Beckham used, and stuff. And he was on his last saloon, so he comes to a club in a much worse league, to one of the best clubs in the world, playing with the best players, with the best managers, in his last saloon. Of course, he's going to do good. So, but
he's got an incentive,
Niche
hasn't
said
he? He's got
something
an
really.
incentive, yeah.
Niche said something really important there, and I wish, like I've said to you, Travis, as well. I never want to be something YouTuber or something football related. I've said that to you because obviously music is my life, so I can't afford to. But if I had another life, my second choice after music would be, I wanted to have like a big voice in the media or whatever for talking about psychology, because psychology is so much more important. Because people are like, when Carragher and fan channels and people talking about like I feel like people are doing this when they are analyzing football. No, he's playing the wrong formation. But like, psychologically, how did Leicester win the league? Is it because Wes Morgan and Robert Huth is amazing? It's psychology. They won against City, Liverpool, United, Chelsea, millions, with Robert Huth, Wes Morgan, Christopher Fuchs, Danny Simpson.
Yeah.
That's psychology. It's so much more important than was Ferguson the most tactical genius in the world? No, he was a psychologist. He wasn't the manager.
Absolutely.
He wasn't the manager. He was a psychologist. So the point you made about players coming in and being shit is spot on, and that's what I want. I want people with a voice that has a lot of following, like Sky Sports or whatever. I want someone to hire a psychologist to just have in the studio or whatever, because we all have been to work. When I started the work, I'm like, or everyone in the chat and you, Travis, when you start in a new work, you are like, I'm going to be the best at this work. I'm going to impress the bosses, but I'm also going to be nice to the co-workers. Like, you go in with that mentality. But if you come in there and after 2-3 months, the people are like going coffee breaks all the time and putting their legs up, and I always have integrity, so I don't get affected by it, but I do get affected by it. If it's 10%, 20%, 30%. So I don't go down to that level, but I go down a little bit. And in elite football, that's a lot.
That's massive. That's massive.
And people, and that is one of the most important things to why we fail, is because imagine if Travis now, imagine if you were 18 now. Travinho. You were a Brazilian Travinho. United brought you in. You are a winger called Travinho. 18 years old. You come to United. You are looking to, okay, who are my role models?
Absolutely.
And then you
Absolutely.
see Rashford getting drunk and missing training. And then you see,
Yeah.
oh, who's in the leadership group? Maguire, one of the most known failures in football. I know he's done a lot better. Yeah, he's improved from being a 2 out of
Mm.
10 to a 5 out of 10. Congratulations. Let's bring the champagne. You see Maguire, who has been relegated with Leicester and Hull and been shit for United and have had some couple of decent games. You look at the leadership group, you see Dalot, who can cross, who can pass. And these are the people who are setting standards for Travinho, who
Exactly.
is 18 years old. And you see Shaw downing tools and sacking 8 managers. Like, psychology is
Yeah.
why we fail. And
Yeah. Yeah.
psychology, what if people read what have not Van Gaal is the exception, but Mourinho, Ten Hag, Solskjaer,
Ragnick.
help me, Ranić,
Ragnick.
and Amrim.
Yeah.
Every
They've all said
single
it.
one of
Yeah.
them have said this sentence.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
They said, on the day, we can beat anyone.
Yeah.
But do you know what that means? On the day, we can lose to anyone. And that has been
Yeah.
proven. And that is
Yeah.
scary. And that has to do with psychology. And top players don't do that. And you have
Mm.
and that's why I love football, is because it's a team sport. But also a shit thing about football is that it's a team sport. Because when Cunha and Mbeumo comes in, no matter how much and Bruno, no matter how much they hate losing, you're only as strong as your weakest link. And we have
Yeah.
lots of weak links.
Yeah,
So yeah.
and I think them kind of players like Kuna and Bumo, they come in and you can see. Do you know a lot of people have said this? They've all witnessed it. We've all witnessed it. We see the first season a player comes in and he gives it his all, and they look fantastic for us. And then second season, that same player looks absolutely dog shy, and you think, what's happened to him? What's happened to him is that he's seen everything else around him and he's been affected by his environment. That's what's happened.
Yeah.
And you're coming back to the psychological point of view. Ruben Amorim said it not long ago. He said, these players have a psychological problem. That's what
Everyone
he said.
has said that.
Yeah.
Everyone has
And
said that.
he said, oh, as they can't see out a win because psychologically they're not strong enough. I mean, that's the strongest statement that you can get from him.
The thing he said, sometimes last season, I knew before the game started. Someone
Yes.
laughed at it. This is also the best example of people not understanding psychology, because people laughed at him when he said, what did he say? He said, sometimes I could see the way they were tying their shoelaces that we were going to lose the match, and people were laughing at him because of that. But then I just understand. Okay, people don't know what psychology is, because I agree. I've seen that with my own eyes when I played football before. When you are in the dressing room before a game, and I think these guys are not up for it today.
Yeah.
The way they're
Yeah.
tying the shoelaces is half-assed. It's not. It's and people laughed at him for that. But also a very recent comment. A
Yeah.
very recent comment from a guy who has a brown mouth and don't want to say anything is Fletcher. You remember what he said a couple of days ago? He said these players are fragile. And fragile
Yeah.
is a stronger word than people recognize, because in UK you speak English obviously, but it's my second language. And for us, we associate the word fragile with glass, with things easily breaking.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. When you get a package and it says fragile outside, you have to be really careful with it. So
Yeah.
him using fragile is he could have used so many different words, but fragile is one of the worst. And that was him coming in. He hasn't spent, and he said also, I know 95% of the players. It's just Cunha and Sesko I talked with before the game. So that means he knows these players and he called them fragile. So he knows they are fragile. And
It's clear. It's clear.
Mourinho when Mourinho was here, it's clear that he wanted Martial, Shaw, and Rashford out because of the fragile mind. They are talented. All of them are world class, talented, but they don't have it in their head, and he recognized it. We kept them. We sacked him, and look how that's gone. So it has been a problem for years, and I feel like when it comes to, because very early in the chat, someone said we have a lot of players who don't play with the heart, and I disagree, because I think we either have players who are good enough that don't play with their heart, or we have players who play with the heart that aren't good enough.
No, I get that. But with me, I think I go back to a comment once Roy Keane made. I think it was Roy Keane. And he said something on the lines of, "In the tunnel, you knew we were going to win. Down, you could see the faces of the players of the opponents in the tunnel, and we knew we were going to win." That for me was astonishing, but also really powerful, because psychologically, where Ferguson had put his teams were peak confidence. And I watched David Gill the other day. You know, David Gill worked with Sir Alex Ferguson, obviously backroom, doing all the stuff.
Brilliant.
And he said that after losing a game, Ferguson would immediately come out of that game and he would just simply walk in, and you'd expect him to blow his top, but he wouldn't. He would immediately say, "We're going to win the next bloody game." And he would instill that in the players. He'd instill that confidence, saying, "We're going to go and win the next game." And it was almost like, he goes, it was almost like you believe everything he said. That's it. It was going to happen. It was almost like he'd already seen the future. And everyone was filled with so much confidence. And that is the difference. That's why I think managers these days, they have to come in, and they have to be psychologists. They have to be a bit of everything. And they have to instill that confidence. I mean, Ruben Amorim said when he was leaving, just like he said that this team's got no confidence. But then I think he alluded to something like, "Look, I don't know what team's going to turn up." And I thought, "What do you mean? You're the bloody manager. How do you not know what team's going to play like?" And he goes, "I don't know." He goes, "We do everything in training and everything's sorted. We know." But he goes, "When they go out on the pitch, I don't know what they're going to play like." And I thought, wow, that's madness. That is madness, isn't it? But then I think what he's trying to say, because you've got to take Ruben Amorim, because English is not his first language. So you have to read between the lines of what he was trying to say. And essentially, he was saying exactly what Fletcher said. These guys are fragile. They go out onto the pitch and they totally crumble. They totally crumble. So what they've learned on training ground, as soon as they get out on the pitch, they crumble and they lose focus. They lose that confidence of being in the lead and just seeing out the game, controlling the game. And I think that's where we're at with this team. And whether Carrick can turn things around or not, I'm not convinced right now. I'm not convinced, because
No, but that's not his responsibility or his job either. I like, if we end 15th, I won't say one bad thing about Carrick. It's not his fault. It's not his job. Like it's like if we hired my mom to be the interim, I wouldn't be blaming my mom for that. It's we are just and like you say with the manager and psychology. Also, when what's it called, the documentary about City?
Behind. Oh yeah, I know the Prime one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I can't remember the
And
name.
also, I've seen some things about Liverpool and Ancelotti. I'm taking those three managers because those are probably the best managers in the world after Ferguson have retired. Psychologically, is Klopp, let's put Pep to the side a bit. Klopp and Ancelotti, are they the best tactical managers in the world? No, they are not.
No.
Are they the best psychologists in the world? Yes, they are. Because sometimes you say when you said that thing about Ferguson when he said we're going to win the next, but you know what he also did? He read the room a lot. So one thing I see that Pep done in the documentary, he went for that Ferguson that we are going to win the next. But one thing I also saw was they lost. Do you know what he did? He went in and he did like this. He saw and he was like, okay, okay. So this is it. This is what you want to give me. Okay. And then he went out the room. Like the disappointed dad type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because
Ferguson used to do
sometimes,
that. Ferguson
yeah,
wouldn't talk
yeah,
to players for
yeah,
days.
yeah, just ignore them. Because sometimes you scream, sometimes you're disappointed, sometimes you take the blame yourself that, sorry guys, today wasn't your fault. I set up a shit plan. But that's what the best managers do. They are psychologists that sometimes they see the team needs to be screamed at, sometimes they
Mm.
need to be ignored and stuff. And I feel like we had that with Amarim, but we didn't have the players. Like I see people are Scholes and Nicky Butt and pundits and YouTube channels are saying like they just need to run more. They just need to be aggressive. Oh,
Yeah.
like Ruben haven't said the most basic. They have to do the basics right. They have to get in a manager who get the basics right. Oh, so Amarim has come in and told them, dude, just chill. Misplace every 2-yard pass. Don't try your best. Like it's nonsense. It's nonsense. And that's why I want the next manager because I'm not getting my will, but we don't need tacticians, we need psychologists. But the thing is, we could get in Pep, and it wouldn't matter because the players can't do it. They are fragile.
Mm.
So I always use this how do you say comparison to the one thing the music industry is comparable is that I work as a songwriter, but I'm also an artist. I sing and do shows and concerts as well. And when I go on stage, I haven't been nervous one time in my whole life, no matter how many people there have been there, because it's like this is what I want to do. I love this.
Mm.
I'm not nervous to go on stage, and that's the comparable thing is that we have so many players that why don't you if I was a football player going to United, I would be like going out to that pitch and be like, I'm playing for United.
Yeah.
70,000 people, 1,000,000 people, like
You
enjoy
dream.
it,
Yeah.
smile.
Yeah.
There are people who have cancer, women who lose their kid before they are born. There are people dying of hunger. You are playing for United. Smile,
Mm.
enjoy. Don't be
No, I
like
agree. I
nervous
agree.
to.
Yeah.
I think we're just getting the wrong profile of players. Like, but
We are.
that's
We
why
are.
I feel like Mbeumo and Cunha, Bruno, Masraoui, De Ligt, they're not Lamens. They are not faced by it. They love it. They love it every day of the week. Let me start every game. If they misplace a pass, they go again. They go again. They
They
go
go
again. They
again. Yeah.
go again.
Yeah.
So we just need more players who are like that, not like fragile, like Sancho and Rashford players who when I think you, cause smart guy, you could if I pose this question, when Rashford played, Trav, did you
Mm.
also see when the game started, and after like 5 minutes, you could know how you could owe Rashford's performance after 5 minutes because you know
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
you get what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
If he didn't
Yeah. Yeah.
get the
Yeah. Yeah.
first
Absolutely.
shots,
Absolutely.
passes, whatever, you can see it
Yeah.
after 5 minutes,
Yeah.
and he stops
That's
running,
it. It's all
stops
done.
crying,
It's done.
keep
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
Cunha,
I've said that many
yeah.
times. Yeah.
So that's and we have so many like Shaw, Maguire, Lindelof, Van Bissaka. I love Van Bissaka by the way, but he was the same. If he started shit, he were shit the whole game, but he
Well,
rarely was.
I say when I do watch-alongs, I say, look, in the first 10 minutes, I know what we're gonna play like for the rest of the game, because you know exactly what the players are
Yeah,
gonna do and the way what mentality they've brought with them today, and
mindset.
it's
And that's
really
what
difficult
Emery
because
meant.
you
That's what
yeah
Emery meant.
because
He could read it.
yeah because each game you don't know what team's going to turn up, and I've said it many times when I'm doing the watch along. I'm like, right, okay, let's see in the first 10 minutes what team we're going to get today, because
Mm,
sometimes you get the team that, remember that Chelsea game that we played at home, the Chelsea game where they got Sanchez sent off.
yeah,
If you remember back, it was like they'd all had a shot of speed before they came out or something.
yeah,
They'd snorted cocaine or something, because they
yeah.
all came out and they were
I
firing
was
at
like,
Chelsea, and I was like, what? This is World Cup champions here, Chelsea, right? And
I
United were
agree.
just not giving them any time. They were just
I
in
was
their
so
face,
worried. I remember that.
yeah,
I was so worried before that game because it was all the hype about the summer and Chelsea. I watched Chelsea in some, they were good, and I was like
yeah.
really worried. And like you say, when that game started, I was like, I remember I was watching it with my brother, but he was in the first 5 minutes. He wasn't in the room because he was making some. I was watching it alone, and I remember watching it, and I did this. I was like this, around the
Mm.
room like a weirdo because I was like, what is this? And
What's going on? Yeah,
that's not a good
yeah,
reaction though, because we shouldn't be that shocked of them trying. But
yes.
I remember that's
But
such a
I just felt like the whole team was doing exactly what Ruben has wanted from the start. Like, do not give them any time, press really hard, get the ball and just attack. And I just felt like that was the best I saw United. And that's how we should have been in every game. But unfortunately, we haven't been. I mean, there's
yeah.
been some really bad games under Ruben Amorim as well. We're going to see, of course, on Saturday, the City game. It's going to be a big game. Of course, it's going to be a derby. We're going to be. It's I'd like to say I want to see the best out of this team, but
Oh,
I think, we've heard, a team that's already down in confidence. I don't know whether someone coming in like Carrick is going to be able to lift that confidence up. It's going to take a lot of effort,
I
Uh,
had forgotten about it in all the things that has been happening. I obviously knew it, but when you said it now, you saw my reaction. That was genuine. I'm
mm,
I'm oh man. I'm so and they oh my god. They also oh sorry. They they also have a Semenyo doing his Premier League debut.
oh my
They
God,
they
I
have
forgot
they
about
have Ha-
Semenyo. My
they
God,
have they have a guy named Haaland. Oh my days. They won the
I,
last game 10. They scored 10
10,
goals the last
10-1,
game.
10-1. Yeah. I mean, do you know
Yeah.
what? I totally forgot about Semenyo, man. I forgot that
Oh,
Semenyo's now
no.
I mean, this could turn into a nightmare. This could turn into the worst. I mean, after all that talk about us getting Semenyo, welcome, Dave, and thank you, Morgan. I hope you have a good night. Thanks for your comments and stuff. I'm gonna call it a day in a couple of minutes, Helga. So let me give me your predictions for the game. I know we've got some time until the game, but this is well, I've got you on, so I want to see your facial reactions, and I want to hear from you what you think. Number one could be the lineup for United, and what do you think is? Well, we kind of know. You've already said it's going to be a 4-2-3-1 formation. I agree with you. I think it's going to be a 4-2-3-1 formation, but it might turn into three at the back at times as well. We've seen him do that with Middlesbrough. And for Middlesbrough were one of the best attacking teams under Carrick. So, yeah, I'm hoping that that's the case as well with United, but you never know. But I'll hand it over to you in the last couple of minutes. Let us know what you think about Carrick's tenure and obviously the game against City.
Yeah. Um, And before we also stop, thank you to everyone in the chat and nice comments and everything. And thank you for having me on. It's been fun. It's a lot of crazy people. Like it's like USA is such a big country with a lot of people, and United are like that. We have such a huge fan base, and with huge fan bases comes a lot of less intelligent. So it's so nice to hear you speak. That's why I watch your shows as well.
I appreciate
It's
that.
mature. It's well thought out. It's not reactionary. It's not immature. It's yeah. So I appreciate that. Um, Carrick. I accept losing a game, but I want to enjoy watching United again, and I hope he can give us that. I don't want to be just negative, and I know there's a lot to be negative about. Um, Nisha said, "Try and get a better mic and a cam." I know. I don't know why my cam is so poor because it's a new MacBook.
Stick. I think what the most important thing is stick on a United shirt. I think that's the most important thing. I think automatically by putting on a United shirt, you'll upgrade your mic and cam.
You get away with it.
Upgrade it immediately. But
Yeah, and the next time I can use like instead of AirPods. But yeah, so I want to enjoy watching football again. So the thing about obviously Amorim, because it's not all on him, but it was super boring. But I don't think that's his fault because his sporting team were exciting. So, but it was boring. So for his tenure, I want to see attacking football. Let's rather lose 3-2 than lose 1-0. Let's attack, and just at least enjoy the shit, kind of. And Nish had a question very early, which leads on to what you asked me. He had a question if you were the manager. So he asked us what with starting 11 will we use? So I can answer that, and I can answer what I think Carrick will start. My favorite formation in the world is 4-1-2-1. 4-1-2-1-2.
yeah, I know what you mean. The diamond in the middle. Yeah.
But narrow.
Yeah.
But narrow, like diamond, like
Yeah.
AC Milan. So I would play Casemiro in the holding, and I would play Mainu to the right and Bruno to the left because he works in a 3 that way. And I would play Cunha behind Šeško and Mbumo, and they are playing like split strikers because Mbumo played in a 2 at Brentford. So I would play with those two on top, Cunha in his right position behind, and then a strong 3 with Casemiro as holding, Mainu, and then Bruno. And I would play Masraoui, De Ligt, Martinez, Dorgu, and Lemans. What team I think he will start? We have Mbumo back.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, and Ahmad.
I think and hope. I think and hope he will play. Oh, Dalot. He will play Dalot, but oh my god, Lemans, Dalot. Who do we have at centre back now? Oh, I hope he doesn't play Maguire.
I think Maguire is available now. Maguire, Haven,
I think
and
so too. Yoro and Martinez.
Yoro and Martinez. So them are our centre back options.
Yoro hasn't been good recently.
No, he hasn't.
I have a minor OCD, so I don't like playing with 2 left foot in heaven and I think he will start with Maguire. I think he will start with Dalot, Maguire, Martinez, Shaw. I think he will start with Casemiro. Oh, but he plays like a more possession type of football, so maybe he will pick Ugarte, but I'm going to take Casemiro. I think he will start Casemiro and Mainu, and then Cunha, Bruno, and Mbumo and Šeško.
Good shout.
Yeah. You?
First of all, I just want to echo your comments about the game and what you think or hope to see on the weekend against City. I couldn't agree more. I just want to see United attack. It's almost like a free hit for United and Carrick. No 100%. One's going to beat No one's going to be expecting Carrick to turn up in his first game and do a job on City. And no one's going to be expecting United currently in their turmoil to do a job on City either. And I feel like if I was Carrick, I'd sit down to the players and say, go out there and go and give it a crack. Do whatever you need to do. Just go and score goals and just make life hell for them. That's what you need to do. Make
because
life hell for City.
we can already hear. Let's say he goes for the more pragmatic as to kind of stop them. I can already hear Keane's voice saying, like, this is not Man United, blah blah blah, and he says, why not just have a go at them? Why not just have a go at them? And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I can already hear that if we lose in a pragmatic way. So why just don't be proactive and just do that instead of coulda, woulda, shoulda? So I agree. Like, we don't have we don't have any advantages of City. But if we do have one, do you know what it is?
Go on.
You can't do an analysis of us.
No,
That's the only advantage we have, is that they can't set up a plan, marking, set balls, team tact, none of them. Why don't just go out there and do the last thing they expect and just go mental from the first second and just catch them off guard? Because Brighton, we beat Brighton 4-2 with Amorim. We lost to them in the cup, but 2-1. They played against City away and got 1-1. So it's not like they're not the City of the prime. So why just don't go at them? But one thing I really want us to do, like tactically, like the most, someone just said it in the chat just there. The most important thing is what Dave says. We really need to, because Cunha doesn't, to be fair, he doesn't run behind. So I would take him out of the equation. But what we really need to do is put up decoys. And decoys is luring their center backs out, because that's what Brighton did against us, to be fair. They lured us with Welbeck, and then they put balls in behind when the spaces became. And that's what we need to do with Mbeumo. We need to put Bruno and Cunha in an awkward position with Rodri. So one of the center backs have to be like, are we going to get Bruno free or Cunha? Because Rodri can't mark both Bruno and Cunha. We need to put both of them in front of Rodri so that one of those center backs have to maybe be in an awkward position. And if they go up and press high against Cunha, then Mbeumo can run in behind. We need to do that.
With me, I think he's going to play, Carrick will play a 4-2-3-1 formation. I would probably go with that as well. But I might even play a 4-3-3 formation. And how I would, the team that I would probably put in there is, of course, the Mazraoui. He's not back, is he? So we've got Dalot in there. We've got centre backs. I think he's going to go with Haven and Leacher, or he might even go with Maguire because he's got some experience. It's a big game, so you might drop Haven for that game, and then you've got Dalot on the left side. Now, in the midfield, I think it would be Bruno. I think it would be Casemiro, and it might be even Kobe Mainoo. Now, controversial, I would go with Sesko, Ahmad, and Mbeumo up front. I would drop Cunha for this game and bring him on maybe later on in the game, just because I feel like having them two down the wings on the pace, we could cause problems for the City defence, who are not the best defence. If you look back at City teams, this defence is questionable. So I think we've just got to go hell. We've just got to completely just leave everything to the side, throw the bloody kitchen sink at them, and they're not going to be expecting that. They're going to be expecting us to turn up and try and defend against them and keep them out. It could be suicidal. Don't get me wrong. It could be the worst thing we do. We could turn up and get knocked 4-5-0, or 4-5-1 or whatever, But at the same time,
I've learned that. I've learned that. The hard way in Football Manager, because if I was me earlier in Football Manager for this game, I would have probably started with a three in the midfield of Bruno, Casemiro, and Ugarte,
Mm,
and I would have played Mount and Mbeumo behind Chesko,
yeah.
going for the. But the thing I have realized after years and years of Football Manager, because now I'm such a seasoned manager, I could manage in Premier League. No, but every time I lose those games, I get so angry of myself. I quit the game. I just go out and just have a walk on the beach or something, because I'm so angry at myself. Why didn't I just go for it? So in the latter years of my career, if you say it that way, I have just gone for it. And when I lose
Yeah.
those games, I
You
don't
don't feel
get as
bad.
upset because
Yeah, yeah.
because then I'm like, okay, maybe I should have gotten a result, but if I did the other way, but I don't know that. So, but Amas is a good shout, but the devil's advocate to that is Cunha is the one who can do things out of nothing,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's.
It's a toss-up between them two.
But your point about Ahmad is spot on as well, and also a thing that plays in Ahmad's hands for me is, like you said, in behind, running, but also
Yeah.
I'm not saying Cunha doesn't press, because he works very hard, but Ahmad has, how do you say it? Sometimes I don't get the right English word. I'm trying to think of it. Okay, when a small player,
He's
you know, like
agile.
Kante, you know, like Kante,
Yeah.
Kante and Rodri are the same position and same role, but the legs, is it like tenacity or
The
quickness or
the
whatever?
engine, the engine, engine,
No, but
agility.
the small feet, like they are short, so they can
Yeah.
reach places quicker.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So he's
Yeah,
got the acceleration that Kuna
yeah,
hasn't.
yeah. I
Yeah,
feel like Ahmad has that
yeah.
in the
The
pressing.
the the
I
the
really
reason
love
why
Ahmad's
the reason
pressing.
why I'm going for Ahmad over Kuna is it's partly to do with that, and partly to do with the fact that he is currently on a different level. He's actually playing really good. He's had an amazing Afcon out
Very
there.
good point.
He's
Very good
carried his
point.
team. So I just feel like he's going to be full of confidence. Not someone who's played the last few games where maybe some of the players like Kuna have had their confidence knocked a little bit and things like that. And he might be just coming. He's not tarnished as much because he's been
Yeah,
away from all the
a very
circus
good
that's
point.
been going off at United. So him and Mbeumo have missed all the action. They've come in and they've thought, right, okay, what's been going on here? And they might just not see anything different, and they might just slot in and just play like they've just been playing for their nations. But that's why Ahmad arguably has had a better international time than Mbeumo. So for me, Ahmad,
Yeah,
but I'm again, it's a nice problem to have for a manager because we
yeah.
have got options going
But
forward. Yes, we can play Kuna. Yes, we can play Mount. Yes, we can play Ahmad. We can play Sesko, and we can play Mbumo. I think there is at least some options going forward. And midfield is, of course, our biggest problem, isn't it?
yeah, and like I said in the start, or early in the show, with me not being stubborn and loving discussions, loving disagreements, because
Yeah.
I can change opinion if it's. And this is the best example of that, because now I have changed opinion to I would start Ahmed, because of, it's not that this, it's just I agree with you more than I agree with me at this point. It's
No,
not
look,
because
I'm not. I don't. Yeah.
it's not because you convinced me. It's not because you are right. It's just that I just agree with that more. It's such good points, but also look at us now. We're really cooking now, because what do you think about this then? So we start Ahmad, but what do you start? Are you ready for this one, Trav?
Go
It's
on.
going to
Go on.
blow the chat. We take out Chesko and play Cunha in the middle
Yeah. Yeah.
as a
Yeah.
false nine
I
to
think.
drop down,
Yeah. Yeah.
and those going behind, and just drop Sesko, use him as a super sub, and then we have the uh, uh, oh, when you invent thing, the imagination of Cunha
Imagination. Yeah.
still on the
Yeah.
pitch, because that's
Yeah.
what I was hesitant to want to start Ahmed, because I don't want to take out that unpredictability that he can go past 2 players and smash
Yeah.
it from 30 yards. I don't want to put that out against City, but at the same time, you made such good points about Ahmad. So I was thinking, how can I get both of them in the team? And do we really need Sesko for this game? And I was talking literally about false nine, dropping down and kind of teasing the defenders. So I would actually start Bruno, Casemiro, Menu, and then Sesko, Cunha in the middle, and Mbeumo and Ahmad.
Look,
We
do
are
you know what?
cooking, Trav.
Do you know what? We can have many different options going forward, and it's exciting. And I must admit, this is why I've been calling out United to go and just simply go and get another bloody midfielder. So at least we've got options. At least we can then start cooking and saying, right, okay, at least the manager can say, look, actually, Casemiro's not got the legs. Let me bring in somebody else who can do a better job defensively than Casemiro. Someone who can cover the pitch. That's what you need. But you're right. Look, I'm not convinced. I'm not 100% saying, look, Ahmad should start or Mbeumo or Sesko. But I also believe that yeah, look, on the day, it depends obviously what the manager's seen in training and who he feels is ready to take that challenge on. But I just feel like City's defense is not what it used to be. They're not as good as many people think.
No.
That's their weakness. That's their Achilles heel. For City, the Achilles heel is their defense. I feel like everywhere else on the pitch, they're kind of sound. Attacking, obviously, they've got ample choices. Midfield, they've got a very solid midfield, but defensively is where we can actually catch them out. That's why I'm hoping that we can actually maybe surprise them. And you're right, though. Your earlier comment was really on point, which was Pep's going to probably be sat there thinking, how the F do I predict what Carrick's going to bloody do? I've not even seen him do anything before. So he doesn't know what United are going to line up like. So we can really surprise them. What will be disappointing is if he just goes and plays, a formation and a system and players that Pep's already planned for. That would be the only thing. And I don't want to see that. I really don't.
And also to play devil's advocate, we're going to move quickly away from that. But devil's advocate, I don't think City are not what we do. If you get what I'm saying, like at the same time we are unpredictable, but at the same time, I just think that they can play whatever formation, start whatever team. We are going to play our way, and we're going to win. So that's also kind of the flip side. But I was just asking AI about who played at the fullbacks for City the last 5 games, and it's been Matheus Nunes.
Nunes,
Nathan Ake. O'Reilly. O'Reilly, Nunes, Ake.
Yeah, look, I think
those two, and those two are very gettable for Mbeumo and Ahmad.
I think O'Reilly's quite good. I think
I like him as well, but
is
we have Mbeumo.
Yeah, I think
we have Mbeumo.
Yeah, I think the weakness in their side is Nunes. I'm never convinced watching him thinking, right, okay, he can keep United. I mean, City or United out of the penalty area and from scoring. I just feel like that's why, for me, I would put on someone who's going to trouble him throughout the whole game, and he can't. If you get him on a yellow card early on in the game, you kind of psychologically win that battle with him, and he'll struggle for the rest of the game.
Can I ask you a question?
Go on.
One thing is who you would start and who you think will start. That's 2 different questions, if you get what I'm saying. And so the question is, your point is spot on, because Matheus Nunes is obviously the weak link, and a problem for me with Luke Shaw at left back, because I think he's okay at best as a centre back, but I don't think he's been good this. But okay, let's say okay. But as a left back, he gives nothing, because he can't run the same way. You see, and I want everyone in the chat also to notice, for the rest of the season, watch Shaw pull out from every 50-50. Every 50-50 he pulls out, because he's scared to get injured for the World Cup. And that's not a good thing in a team. and he doesn't do the highest sprints, the high intensity sprints, because he's afraid something's going to break. So when I watch him play left back now, he doesn't overlap, and he's never
No.
in the right position when he's defending, because he's kind of like in Norway we have the saying det er verken fugl eller fisk. That means it's neither bird or a fish. It's how do you say it? You don't get anything. He's not another
And
defensive
he's neither a
fullback.
defense. Yeah. So he's not giving you either.
When
yeah.
when you're kind of in that's
Yeah.
when you're in
No
no man's
man's
land.
land.
That's
Yeah.
what it means.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel like he's semi-attacking and he's semi-defending. So my question to you, if we were to use the Nunes, because we know fullback gets help the winger. So Nunes,
Yeah.
tell us if you see here, Nunes. If this is Nunes, I can find these two. So this is Nunes, and this is their winger, whoever that is. So if you see here, if the City goal is here, usually you defend with both a winger and a fullback. So if this is Amadan trying to attack, he's 1 against 2. That's why it's so important for a fullback to overlap so that they can get stretched.
Yes. Yeah.
My worry is that if we play Shaw, he won't provide that. So Ahmad and whoever plays on the side of Nunes is going to have 1 against 2, and we can't use the weakness, if you get what I'm saying. So my question was, would you start Dorgu? Because there is a risk attached to it, but at least he will, as you saw against Burnley with the overlap and the cross to Sesko, at least he provides attack there and would make it harder for Matheus Nunes to defend, because I feel like if it's Shaw, he just, I don't know, it's hard.
I think you make a valid point. I just feel like Carrick will start Shaw. I just feel like Carrick's going to go with.
I think so too.
Shaw,
I think so too. But the question: would you start Dorgu?
I would probably start Dorgu. I'm not a big fan of Shaw, but do you know what the problem is? They're both shit. And that's where like I look at it and think, well, shit. If we start Dorgu, the problem with Dorgu is he overlaps, but then he when he gets into that position, it's like he loses his mind and doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
It's like he gets to that position and you think, right, just cross the ball in, pick out a man, and he doesn't do either.
I agree. So that's why I said it's kind of starting Dorgu would make most sense, but there's more risk attached to starting Dorgu, and Shaw is the safer option. So I get that, but I really hope, because your point is spot on, but I just really hope that they recognize we need to overlap on that side. We can't be having that a right side. And also on the right side, who is overlapping there? We have a fullback overlapping on the right side, but he is dog shit. He is even worse.
Yeah.
But one thing I wanted to say about Dorgu is that if I don't know, I have a really good feeling about him. In 2-3 years,
Dorgu's, I think Dorgu will become good. Yes.
Maybe not even. It maybe happen that it isn't at United, but I think he will become a class fullback at one point. But he is like we always do at United. We buy good, talented. Imagine if Dorgu went to City. Imagine if Dorgu went to Brentford. Imagine if Dorgu went to Brighton. Imagine if Dorgu went to Dortmund. Imagine if he went to Inter, Napoli. We are so good at getting super talented players like Yoro. He would probably start for Real Madrid and win the league with them.
Absolutely.
And we are so good at not fixing our squad and getting young players who aren't ready and just playing them every game. Because when players are complaining about young people, it's not that we can't complain about Dorgu. Of course we can, but it's like if there's one thing every 20-year-old, 19 and 18-year-old in Norway, Africa, Brazil, if they play in PSG or if they play in 4th division in Norway, if there's one thing they all have in common, is that they're inconsistent. Every
Yeah.
single one of them, except for Jamal, but he's a freak, and Rooney, and Fabregas. But those are the exceptions. So that means when we are getting like Euro, Dorgu, Shesko, Mainu, and starting them every Garnacho, it's like, what do people expect? Expect every player if Dorgu came in and just was brilliant all the time, he would be the best left back in the world. The most talent. He would cost
Well,
1.5
it's really interesting
billion.
you're talking about it. Yeah, it's interesting you're talking about the left back because Carrick, as his managerial career at Middlesbrough, and that's all we've really got to go for, and what he played and what kind of formation he played and what system he played. He used to use his left back as the attacking player. So his left back would always shoot up and leave the defense as a 3 at the back, and his left back
Okay.
would become that attacking player. And I can just see Dave saying, yeah, that's why we need someone like a Nuno Mensch who can be that defensive and attack. And look, that's what we need. We need one of those players. But coming to Dorgu, I don't think he's a bad player. I think he's actually, for his age,
Young.
I agree with everything. He is going to be sensational. He just needs to be given more time. Whether he's going to get that at United or not, I don't know. But he will become a very good left back, a lot better than what we've seen at United, and a lot better than flipping Dalot, who's on the other side. I mean,
do you remember Butner?
Yeah. I
That's
remember.
how I view Dorgu. Not in terms of ability, mind you, but if we were a serious club, which we aren't, Dorgu should play League Cup, FA Cup, easy Premier
Yes.
League games, and
Yeah.
easy Europa League.
Yep. I agree.
And nothing
Yeah.
else. We should have a left back that plays 36 out of 38 games every game and is consistent. We should have a good left back, and he shouldn't have any responsibility. He shouldn't have any pressure, any expectation. He should just be allowed to be a young player that came from a relegation team in Serie A, but is raw talent, but should just be. But we are just getting him in, starting him in. He has probably played like 90. If you take a sub as an appearance, he's probably played 90% of all games since he came in. It's ridiculous.
I think that's
and
always
the same
been
with
the problem.
Højlund.
Yes.
We just crush.
We crush him. Yeah, we crush their confidence immediately.
Because the thing for me with the whole project of INEOS and whatever, I get the thinking about the future, but it's like if you are at a business and you're thinking about the future, but the building's burning.
Yeah.
It's like, why are we getting players for the future when the now is shit? Like, get in some 28-year-olds, get in some 30-year-olds, get in the now. Get in Watkins and then buy Chesko. Get in
a mixture. You need a mixture.
Like my favorite left back. Yeah, but fix the now. I don't even want a mixture. I want now first. I don't want one young player before we at least have one first 11 that Trav, Dave, ML, HR7, Niche. I want one 11 that we all agree this is a good 11. One good 11, and then we can buy. I don't want one young player because I love thinking about the future, but we are just buying for the future, and we don't have a future, and we don't have a plan for them, and we don't have a platform for them to gain confidence. We just destroy them and make them like, imagine how used to Dorgu, Højlund, Chesko, Euro. Just imagine like how used to losing they are.
Yeah, exactly.
Already.
Do you know what? It's really important to develop young players. And I'm going to say this, it might be controversial, but under the Glazers' ownership and under INEOS, I've not seen any real development of young players coming through, and it makes me nervous when I see the Lacey's and the others coming through, the JJ Gabriels and the Cornets, and I'm thinking, shit, I don't want them to be ruined by this ownership. I don't want them.
I take the first plane away if I
Yeah.
was Gabriel. First, I would get the hell out of it.
Yeah. Look, he tried. He tried to actually leave in the summer, and they convinced him to stay.
And we had to persuade him. Imagine we have to persuade a 15-year-old to stay at United.
Yeah, exactly.
How sad
that
to
is,
persuade, having to sit a meeting with the agent, owners, man. So I think it was Barada, Wilcox, Amrim, and some other things from the board to JJ Gabriel with his agent, his family, had a meeting about it. How embarrassing. It should have been one phone call. Do you want to extend? Yeah, it's United.
Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be. It should be the other way around. The player should be saying, "Look, I want to stay. Please give me an extension. I want to be at this great club." Unfortunately, things have turned so bad for young players, and they see it. They see, the first team players, and they see the youngsters not getting a chance or not developing properly. And look, the agents are the ones who are probably sitting down telling them, "Look, do you know what? This is probably not the right place for you. Let's take you to Barcelona. Let's take you somewhere else, and you will develop. You'll be around the world's best players, and you will be looked after. You'll have a great manager who will look after you." And that's how it all kind of it plays out. But anyway, we've gone way over our time limit. I apologize.
Can I just say one last point that came up when you said that? You remember, because I know you have a good memory. I don't know what ex-players, but I think it's multiple ex-players who have said this. Training was harder than the match.
Yeah, spot on.
Yeah. So I think you can read where I'm going with this. So imagine being a winger at United. So in training, you're playing against Dalot and Dorgu and the Shaw on 50% and Malacia. Amrabat is playing left back. Imagine playing against Casemiro and Ugarte.
Yeah.
Imagine playing against Maguire. Imagine shooting against Onana. And then you come onto a pitch with real footballers.
Yeah.
It's no wonder why it's so hard for them.
Yeah.
It's no wonder, because Ten Hag, Solskjaer, and Amrim, I think it's funny, but I get where they are coming from. But when they say, "We are so good in training. We are so good." And no wonder. I bet you're amazing in training because you play against shit teams. And the reason why I wanted to take this point was when you mentioned Gabriel. He has come probably onto that pitch and just pissed on everyone.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So if he was to come in, for example, of Brighton, he's nowhere near Minte or Mitoma or Rutte or whatever, and he's playing against Van Hinkel, Blinkel or something, but he's really good, I think. Van Hecke or something. And Gabriel has probably come out, he's doing nutmegs on Casemiro and just rainbow flicks it over Ugarte and playing against Dalot. For a 15-year-old, you're envisioning this and coming up to the first team, and then like, wait, this is easy. And so that was my last point, because it came to my head when you said about Gabriel and everything. I just imagine being him and coming into training to that shit team. But after this stream, you know what I'm going to do? Because I'm going to hold my hands up. I'm not the person who has said, yeah, I've seen that movie, and lie about it, or I know about his tactics, and I really don't. I have no clue about Carrick, except for its ball possession. He wants to keep the ball on the ground type of thing.
He wants to keep the ball. He wants to keep. He's quite an attacking.
But other than that, I don't know. So I'm going to end up in the Carrick rabbit hole tonight into everything, because I'm like a tactical geek. I love those small things. So, but I didn't want to do that before he was official, because then I would just be
Yeah.
wasting my time. So I'm going to do that
Yeah.
after the stream now.
Well, you should have taken my word for it. That's what you should have done. You should have, just. I'm only
I do.
joking. I'm only joking.
I do.
I wasn't sure either, to be honest with you.
And it's
I
not
kind of put
Sheffield
the news
Wednesday,
out.
by the way. It's not
Oh,
Sheffield
right. Okay. All right. Okay.
Wednesday.
Good.
It's Drake. It's Drake Lowe tattooed on my
Okay.
arm, if you can see.
Oh, yeah. I can see that. Yeah, that's cool. That is
Owl.
cool. I was going to say, look, I'm not a tactical geek. I obviously watch football as it is, and I've seen some of Carrick, like how he, how he sets up and stuff. But this is different. This is not Middlesbrough. This is United. He's gonna, of course, know that, and he might set up differently. And we're just gonna have to wait and see how he does things against City. And yeah, it's straight into the deep end. Arguings says, "Get it, guys. Amrin didn't fail. He was failed." Yeah, we've
Yep.
discussed that already.
Yep.
If you rewind the show, you will see. Nobs, welcome to the channel, mate. Hope you're doing. And Bruno wants out? Question mark. Yes, he does. He does. We actually. Niche will verify this. I said it a couple of months ago. Actually, not months ago. Actually, a week ago, when Ruben Amorim got the sack, I said, "Watch, we're going to get Bruno once out as well." He knows that it's a shit show under the INEOS and the Glazer regime, and who would want to be part of that? Let's be honest, we wouldn't either. I mean, we're fans and we want them out.
There's not one player in the squad that you get what I'm saying. When you're at work, the bosses, they let's say me and you and Nish worked at the same place, but the bosses trusted me a little bit more, even though we had the same position. Okay?
Yeah.
We all have been there. It's not about being brown-mouthed. It's just some players, they just ask for opinion, or they know. It was like when I was a pupil. Is it called pupil?
Yeah, student. Yeah, student. Yeah.
Yeah. The teachers would be telling me things that they aren't allowed to tell, but they didn't tell any one of my classmates. My point is, there is no one at the club that knows more about what's going on than Bruno.
Yeah.
And for him to be wanting out should be concerning and not applauded because he does Hollywood passes.
But
that's all I'm saying. People should be.
Bruno has seen firsthand what INEOS are doing to the club. He wanted out in the summer. He wanted out well before, and suddenly he's now. This is not overnight. This is not something he's suddenly decided. Right, I want out. He's known for some time that the club is heading in the wrong direction, even with bloody INEOS coming on board. Even they are not to be trusted. And yes, look, we've just got to hope that somewhere there is a billionaire watching this shit show, and he's a Man United fan, and he thinks, right, enough's enough. I need to come in and get these guys out. Problem is, neither party, INEOS nor the Glazers, will want to let go of this cash cow that they've got in United.
They are waiting for, like, obviously I hate them, but from their point of view, I understand them 100%. I would never sell. They are waiting for a big payoff.
Yeah, they are. They are.
I'm not saying I agree. I'm not saying I agree with them, but it would make. That's why. Or can you remember, because you obviously do this streaming thing, when there was this rumor about?
Yeah, the Dubai consortium taking over. And some bid coming in. Yes, I remember doing a couple of shows of that. Yeah, and then it just died down. It just died down.
Yeah,
and
I rarely argue with anyone because I'm not that like aggressive, but sometimes I rarely get angry. But I remember I really got into, and it was on camera as well. But I never call names. I'm never ugly to anyone. But I was so how do you say, baffled, because I was like, I was trying to knock it into the heads basically, because everyone, when you want something, you are more easy to believe it. It's confirmation bias.
Yeah, yeah.
No, it's just I saw the comment.
Niche,
That's my
Niche has got one, aren't he? Crazy
that's
man.
just my
That,
type of humor.
yeah.
Yeah. The thing I got passionate is everyone so wanted it to be true, but I got in an argument because I said Glazers have had that plan since 2017 with the reconstruction area.
Yeah,
They have not been allowed to it, so they get in Radcliffe with his
absolutely. Spot
politician thingy.
on. Yeah,
This has been a plan for now. So now in
yep.
2026, math, 9
2000.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been working for 9 years for this. They got it through. The stadium is coming. They're getting Beyonce and Coldplay. They are getting a lot of things around the area. And for people in the chat that might not know, because I know Trav knows this probably, but the reconstruction area and the glaze is about 2017. Most of you people probably know that, but what you might not know is that in that area, a guy that you might know owns a lot of property, and that guy is Neville.
Yeah.
So Neville can lose millions upon millions upon millions.
Yeah.
So that's for the chat. For the chat, you might not know.
Hence
That
why
is
he doesn't. He's not
serious.
calling them out. He's not calling them out.
Yeah,
And neither are the
but
others.
it's
I mean,
not like common knowledge. So I just wanted to say
yeah,
for the people in the chat that be aware that all of these things, that I'm not like a conspiracy theorist, whatever. I've never been this. I stick on evidence, and the evidence is there for the papers in 2017.
yeah,
The plan has already been made, so we all have seen the stadium and everything. So everything of that is happening, and when those things are built, the stadium is built and everything, then they're probably going to sell it when it's at the peak.
yeah. They're hoping for the value to increase to such a degree that then they can make the biggest
It will
payday
double.
of their lives,
It will
and
double.
then they leave. And without a doubt, football has always increased in value, always getting to a stage where they're making more and more money each year, each season. They make more and more money, and that's where it's going. But anyway, I'm going to leave the show there. I'm going to say a huge thank you to Helge coming on tonight. Of course, taking time out of his busy schedule and kind of letting us know his thoughts on the Carrick news, and of course Bruno Fernandes, and of course City as well. So I want to say a huge thank you to him. I want to say a huge thank you to everybody who's commented, who's joined in today, had a brilliant show. And yeah, we'll be back again, and we'll make this a more regular thing with Helge in the future. So
it has been really good, and it is important to acknowledge the chat as well, because the chat will probably agree, and I think one thing you do good is that when what do you say in England? You say you are the company you keep, or something like that.
Yeah.
Like your friends reflect you or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah,
Good
and that's what
reflection.
I
Yeah.
feel like. That's why I really like you, but I also like the guys in the chat, or girls,
Yeah.
2026, reflect you and reflect all of us. So big up to the chat, because there's no one saying mental types of things and we should play Shaw in false nine, or it's not angry. It's well thought out, smart, intelligent people. So yeah, big up
Yeah.
to the community
Absolutely.
you're building, because
Absolutely. Big up to everybody.
you're
Yeah.
building something genuine, and not this screaming and shouting and the annoying things on YouTube, because there are so many screaming for attention. And I just think your way of doing things is going to get you to the top slower but better. It will take more time
Yeah.
for a guy like you, because you are not rage baiting. So it's going to take a lot of a bit more time for you to grow it to where you want, but you will get there. And when you get there,
Yeah.
you will stay there because they go
Well,
up and they
well,
go down. So
well, you've not seen me on game days. I mean, match days. I kind of do lose it a lot. I mean, I'm very calm during
yeah,
the
yeah,
week though.
yeah, yeah. But that's not
But
rage baiting. That's being a
yeah.
fan.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, look, one of the reasons why I kind of did all this was number one. I obviously there was someone who did everything, and they needed someone to host the show, and I've kind of taken over somewhat and
Taking over.
most do most of the shows and do everything for them. And the other thing was, I was just sick and tired of clickbait. You know, everyone just kind
Yeah,
of making news out of nothing. And I was like, look, I'm a United fan. I just want to talk about United and how they play and talk about serious things about United and talk about the ownership, because I felt like there was still lots of people not calling out the Glazers, not seeing what they're doing to United, and of course INEOS as well. And I thought, right, I've had enough, man. These guys all need
yeah.
to be called out. And there's lots of fans who all see it and all want to do the same thing. So I want to give everyone a platform and be able to say the same thing. But
Do you want
I'm
to
gonna
know how
it's
do you want to know how I found you? The
go
story?
on.
Because you might
Yeah,
like this because that's kind of relevant for obviously you. It was a late night, and I was looking for to blow out some steam, to watch some, yeah. And so I was searching Manchester United and live, and obviously there are so many big channels, so
yeah.
you weren't like first. So I clicked 2 seconds out, 2 seconds out, 2 seconds out. I was on so many channels. I was like, no, no, no. And then I came to you, and I was like, ah. And I just stayed there, and I was there 5 minutes, and I was there 10 minutes, and I was like, this guy knows what he's talking about, and he's not like annoying. He sounds more like a friend of mine than just a dude who wants to do TikTok. Uh,
Nah, nah.
and
Look, do you know,
niche fan, can I ask you, do you have Twitter, socials, or anything so we can also link up if that's needed? I will try to get a better. I have this iPhone with oh my god, English sometimes. The
oh, the
not wireless, with the
yeah,
wire,
yeah, yeah.
and that
Oh
one
yeah,
is
yeah,
better.
yeah,
So I
yeah,
try
yeah.
that next time.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah,
I think so. I think so. But no, appreciate seriously. I appreciate having you on. I appreciate the chat as well, because everyone who comes into the chat, I swear, I feel like everyone knows what they're talking about, and anyone
100%.
who joins in and they make intelligent points, and you get to see the person behind the comment, and you realize, actually, do you know what? Dave, Niche, ML, and Manchester United Way, everyone who jumps on, they make valid points. And I said it from day one. Look, I'm not here to press forward my agenda or my points of view or my opinion, and I don't want that. In fact, I want someone else to let me know what they think about Dallo, what they think about Shaw, and we don't have to agree on everything.
You know?
Football is amazing, and we all see it in different ways, and that's what makes it enjoyable. It would be a boring game to watch if we all agreed on everything. I mean, where would them debates be? The one thing I've enjoyed the most watching football is not the football, but sometimes debating after the game, before the game, with friends and family, and you kind of go into deep conversations about what players what, and that's what makes football enjoyable. And that's why having you on and having the chat, obviously Cook, is always amazing. And definitely going to invite you back on, and we'll do, like I say, a panel show, and we'll cook once again. We'll cook once again.
Yeah. What's your score prediction?
My score prediction, if it's a, I'm not
Okay,
going to give one. I'm
do the
terrible at that.
no, but it isn't about being right. It's just fun. But okay, you do one
My
score
hope
prediction.
is
Yeah, the
my
hope
hope is
one
that
and the think one.
we can win 3-2. There you go. I think we do better against teams like City.
Yeah.
I know it sounds crazy, but I think we do better against better
No,
teams.
no, but I
I think
agree.
we suit teams that are coming at us than we going at teams. I think we feel. I think it's easier for us to go against teams that we don't need to break down. I feel like the moment we come up against someone like Wolves or Burnley or Everton and teams that sit back a little bit, we don't know exactly how to break them down. That's all I think. I think that's why, if you look at the teams that have attacked us, we do pretty well this season. But it might be different under Carrick, so it's unpredictable, isn't it?
And Liverpool, we won.
Yeah,
away.
yeah.
City we won away against with Amorim. So I'm going for actually a 3-2 myself because
get in there, 3-2. Okay,
that's what I hope. What I think if it was to bet. I don't want to say it. I don't want to put it into universe.
Do not say it. Do not say it. We'll end it on that cliffhanger. We'll end it on that cliffhanger, guys. Huge thank you for everybody, and we'll be back tomorrow morning as usual, 11 a.m. with another live stream, and we'll discuss